All right. Give it a second to pile on here because I did not send out a reminder. I didn't send out an actual video. Oh, and I see it's right there. Man, see, we're on the phone right here.
Let's see what
We're going to do a little sharing.
How to share with your brother.
Oh, all right. Let's go to Smack and Jack connection. Done. Let's go to share. Let's do.
There we go.
Good morning, folks. Those who are jumping on.
Reminders.
We'll do it there.
It's a good to stay.
Let's do it there for now. All right. Seeing as how we're Delaware County, Delco, media, etc., etc. All right. Actually, you know what? I guess I could actually turn this on. There we go. And there's one person on right now. That, my friends, happens to be me.
Oh,
happens to be me. All right. So when you go live on Facebook, it takes a while for it to kind of get everywhere and to get pinged into everybody's.
And it takes a while for people to unlike us. Maybe we'll touch on that.
Indeed.
I am so unhappy with the production of the show that I am actually going to shoot an email to the the executive producer.
All that and more, folks, coming
all
right
that
up,
and
right?
More.
All right, Keith, shall we get started?
Well, do we have anybody on? I can't.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, let's get started. Why not? It's after
folks will jump on as we're going here. Again, I didn't send out an announcement for this one, so
I always forward. You know, the thing is to see tomorrow. I always forward to my friends, and luckily nobody has said please don't forward me that. So and it is nice out. Like last week it was snow. So let's get started anyway. You got your coffee, Joel?
Yeah, I do.
You got water?
I have water.
I don't have water, but I got coffee. That's all I need. It's Smack and Jack time, folks. Sit back with a cup of coffee. We'll be back in a second.
Yeah, as soon as I can get to our
2,
intro,
3
intro going right now.
Play it live.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smack and Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Slenderman.
Bravo.
Yeah, man, we're on.
Yes,
welcome,
hey,
folks.
Hey, Joey.
Good to see everybody today.
Yes, happy. Hey, guess what? This is the last day of.
Is this the last day of winter?
Winter, as we know it. Winter. The 2022 winter season is a fond memory.
That means spring will be here tomorrow, right?
I usually get my thoughts together for the show pre-show. I don't know if you do. Seems like you do a lot of work during the week on the show, and I almost feel like I am lagging behind in that.
Don't listen to him at all, folks. He gets his thoughts together after we do the show.
Yes. Well, this is one of my thoughts.
That's right.
I've got so much stuff going on during the course of the week, and I drink a lot of coffee. And last night, after working in my regular job, I got home and I worked for a few hours here at the shop. Made a couple cups of coffee, and this cup of coffee sits. And this morning when Joel arrived, I had a clean cup for Joel, the Betterton mug that Linda gave us.
Yeah, very nice.
That's been clean for a couple of weeks. This one, however, was not necessarily dirty. It had some coffee in the bottom. I rinsed it out. I made a cup of coffee, and boom, we're on time.
And we're on. Yeah.
Has anybody ever done that? Now, you and anybody that would have a inkling of respect for themselves would have a house Really? Our beards are growing and everything's getting older, or fingernails.
Wow,
have you
that
ever
was-
done that? Have you ever done that? Just grab it out of the sink, rinse it out, and make it a cup of coffee.
Oh yeah. Well, normally I leave my coffee cup on the back of the sink.
But you probably rinse it out when you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you were going to say that you made the coffee last night, didn't drink it, and just heated it up this morning.
No, and I've done that, but I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
You know, what's a pod cost? A quarter? You know?
Yeah, and then you write a letter to the company or give a bad review of how awful their coffee is,
and then boom,
you know,
all of a sudden they give you a year's worth of supply. Hey, that's a good idea.
we're on to something here. So
Yeah.
anyway, Keith,
Speaking of bad reviews,
yeah,
you want to bring that up now, or I
yeah,
don't
let's
think you
do
want
it
to bring
right
up at
now.
all.
You know what, folks? We have made a splash in the Smack and Jack community. Just last night, I received a note, a little response to our.
Wasn't a request.
Well, it was a request
Yeah.
attached to our video that I had shared to our, we'll say Bob and Mill group. At home.
Okay, you have
the
it.
street
Okay,
that I live
Facebook,
on.
yeah.
We have our own little
Right.
Facebook group, and I got a request. Joel, could you please remove me from your live stream? I don't know if I ever subscribed to it, but I'd rather just pay attention more to the Bob and Mill. What's going on?
That is great.
So instead of scrolling right on by,
Right. This person was so unenamored with our
Yes.
show, and probably just our picture, because you can't see the show unless you click on it.
right. Well, it comes up as a live video, but it's muted, right? As you scroll by.
Like right now it would.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's muted right now, but it'll pop up.
But you're
You know,
still
you can just
yeah.
kind of scroll on
yeah,
by it. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we have done it. We have annoyed somebody to the point where they actually got in touch with me, and it happens to be somebody that lives right up the street.
Now, in all fairness, we do say smack it. You know, whether you like us, you don't like us, or whatever, we want to hear about it. And
That's right.
Doggone it, that might be our biggest fan right there.
Yeah. Yep. Now, has that particular person listened to a word of our show? Probably not.
But maybe it's for the best too. You know,
So.
maybe it's for the best. So anyway, moving on. Hey, Jim. Jim's on.
All right. Yeah. Good to see you guys today. Let's see who's
Well,
on. We
you don't
got
drink coffee. Jim,
we
you
got
drink tea,
Linda.
hot tea. You got to drink hot tea. If you don't like coffee,
Joey.
hot tea. It's got to be.
Yeah. You know, it's I probably told you this before, but I went through all of college without drinking coffee. I did not drink coffee until I graduated from college.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, and then home with dad. I guess is probably when I went back to college. I smelled that coffee that was brewing downstairs. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, that smells pretty good. Let me go have dad make me a cup of coffee.
That was great coffee.
You know?
Now, do you remember the wasn't Folgers, the instant years?
Oh
Before
yeah,
Dad got
Maxwell House.
Yeah. Yes.
You leave the top
Right.
with
So
the
he could
cut
scoop
right, so that he could use that to level off his
exactly a
spoon.
level spoon of that stuff was disgusting.
That is disgusting now. I've tried
Yeah,
it a few
have
times.
you?
I was like, Dad lived on this for most of my life. It's got to be okay, but
It's not okay.
it is not good
No.
at all. Yeah. So
But that was back before you had even instant coffee. Yeah, remember on Sundays once in a while he would get the percolator going. And that would
Right.
just fill up the house. It just smelled terrific.
yeah, folks, that was one of those steel percolator pot things, and you
That you
plugged it in.
Yep. And you
with
had an
the-
adjustment on it. It wasn't
Yeah.
automatic. You could turn it into motor oil if you wanted to.
You could, and it had that rickety old plug on it.
Yes.
That you want to plug in with just your fingertips.
Right. And wrapped in asbestos. It was before rubber.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yes.
Good old days.
Yeah, good old days.
I
And,
think that probably went in the house auction. Somebody took that one
Mhm.
years ago.
So
So,
anyway,
all right,
I-
let's
I'm
move on,
getting off on a
folks,
tangent
to
of
the
coffee.
Sunshine Protection Act.
What is the sunshine?
This has surfaced mostly this past week because of daylight savings time. Folks, give us your thought on daylight savings time. I'll tell you what my thought is on daylight savings time. My thought is that I do like it. I like. You with me?
Yeah, yes. I'm doing a little bit of background stuff here. Okay.
I do like getting the extra hour, and I don't like the fact that we lose an hour. And let me tell you this: this past week on Monday morning, I noticed our students at school were as sleepy and lethargic as I've ever seen them. And I don't remember that from years past on the that day after daylight savings time change.
It's the day after day. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have
Sunday to recuperate.
and then we have Monday. Man, the kids were just like out of it, and I was a little out of it too. I have to say, I don't remember it being that bad in years past. I'll say this: for me personally, it's not that big of a deal to change the clocks once in the fall and once in the spring.
Right. And obviously, it's more of a hit in the spring because you're losing an hour instead of gaining. But I did notice it a little bit Sunday morning. But I did have Sunday and Monday off because I think we still forgot why I hadn't. No, that was last week's show. Never mind. I'm not going to say why I had the weekend off.
Have something to do
with 2 kids that know how to cook and a wife that knows how to cook.
With you being older than.
Think I got a birthday cake?
Yeah, sorry, dude. I don't want. I have nothing to do with that department. All right, so let's take a look at. I
was going to say something about
that one.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, I did get up and I was a little groggy.
Yeah,
I didn't have anything to do, so I kind of lounged around all day.
Right.
Anyway, so, but
by the way, folks, we're sorry that this saw outside the door here started as soon as we started the show.
Where is that?
I don't know, but it sounds like it's right outside your door here. So that may be going for the entire next hour. All right, so let's take a look at a couple slides of the Sunshine Protection Act here. Now you might think
we're in
down there in DC. They'd have some other things to worry.
Yeah, there's a bit going on in the world right now, isn't there? A bit going on.
So this was a bipartisan agreement here in the Senate, as far as I know. So it hasn't been fully approved yet. So this is kind of moving its way up to make daylight savings time permanent. Moving our clocks in either direction changes the principal time cue, like for setting and resetting our 24-hour natural cycle or circadian rhythm. So that's kind of one of the issues, our circadian rhythm, in that our body naturally goes with the sunlight.
Right.
And getting up in the dark, as we are now, is not necessarily what our internal clock wants to do. In doing so, our internal clock, you can mute that.
Well, then they know I'm muting. Well,
I do that. I do that all the time.
How do you?
In doing so, our internal clock becomes out of sync or mismatched with our current day-night cycle. How well we adapt to this depends on several things. Okay, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, the U.S. unanimously passed the Sunshine Protection Act, which would make daylight savings time permanent starting in November of 2023. So not this year, it'd be next year. No more falling back an hour. This bill is still subject to approval by the House and Joe Biden. This is just a little tidbit about daylight saving time. Some studies show an overall reduction in traffic accidents and fatalities due to daylight savings time changes. Okay, so in general, less accidents.
Change or just the time?
The actual time change. Okay, however, one study showed a significant rise in accident rates on the Monday following daylight savings time. So that Monday, you have to be extra special, careful. And the author attributed that to sleepiness.
Right.
All right, so just taking a look at when the sun will come up in some of these parts, because if you're in the Western time zone of any time zone, you see the sun last.
Right.
All right, so these parts up here, so we would get sunshine somewhere. So they're talking about like in January.
Right.
We would get sunshine somewhere between 8 to 8:30, which is, it's not too bad. I mean, the sky's lightening up. The problem is, and this was a problem back in the 70s when they tried to do this.
Right.
Is that the kids going to school, like little kids, are going out to the school bus stop, in the dark.
Right.
And that will obviously be a problem. And that's one of the issues that they're contending with now.
Yes.
So way over here, I mean, in the way over here in Michigan is still in the Eastern time zone.
Huh.
And they're not going to see sunlight until like 9:30. What'd you say up there? 9 to 9:30 is when the sun will come up.
That's
now,
weird.
the further you go way over this area here, now this is what central. Yeah. Way up here in North Dakota, they're not going to see sun until like 10 o'clock or later. And then same with these guys over here. Alaska is going to be the same.
Well, you go to Alaska, you deserve what you get.
That's true. And you hardly see the sun up there anyway in the winter.
Right. And it sounds really bad, but these states these Western it's only an hour difference. So if it's only going to be coming up at 10 o'clock, it would only be 9 o'clock. I mean, it's not jumping from,
Yeah.
the sun coming up at 5 in the morning to all of a sudden, boom, it's 10
Right. It's not
o'clock.
like a 2 hour
Right,
delay.
right.
Yeah. It
So
is.
they're more used to that than we are anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, in general, it's only an hour.
right.
And I say, why don't we split the difference?
Oh,
Why don't we just do a half hour? Does it have to be an hour? Why not just a half hour?
good
That's what
point, Joe.
I'm pretty
Wow.
sure Venezuela does that. Who's the dictator down there, Venezuela? Somebody help me out. I'm pretty sure they went to the half hour permanently just so that they would be different.
Okay.
It may not even be Venezuela. It may be somebody else.
One of those other
countries.
cartelian
Yes.
countries.
Yeah. But they went to so instead
Well,
of
I
it
think
being
cocaine production is better, like if you wait an hour
on the half hour
or half hour.
Yes,
on the half
yeah.
hour.
So if somebody knows what country that is.
Okay.
So instead of being 10 o'clock there, or whatever time it would be, relative
It would
to
be
us, it would be
9:30.
10:30 or
10:30,
9:30
yeah.
or something like that. Just to be different from the rest of the world. And that's a place where whoever the leader is said that this is the way it's going to be because I want it that way.
Right.
So anyway, all right. Good morning. We see a few more people on
That's
here.
actually an interesting.
All right, getting back to the TV.
Terry, Judy,
yeah.
yeah.
So chime in. What do you guys
Hey,
think about
Judy's.
daylight savings time? Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on today. Again, for me, daylight savings time, standard time, what we've been doing ever since we've been alive,
Yes.
is actually okay with me. It's not one of those things for me that's a really big deal.
No,
It's-
it isn't,
We
no.
do it twice a year. Oh yeah, that's coming up. Oh yeah, in the spring we're gonna get and some people really have issues.
And
with it.
I don't have an issue. I would like it to stay this time. I always thought it's just, but for me, I've had the luxury of not had to get up at 2 in the morning.
Mhm.
So if you're working real early anyway, that when fall comes or spring or whatever,
The time change.
yeah, it's I'd rather have the extra hour at the end of the day when I'm home, relaxing, maybe enjoying an adult beverage or something.
Yes,
Sure.
in the daylight.
Yes,
In
yes.
the daylight, yeah.
'Cause
But I
then
wonder,
when it's dark, you've just got problems.
In January, how much more daylight are we going to have with that
Exactly.
hour?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, all right, folks, that's all we have to say about that. And again, I thought I would just resurface that conversation about daylight savings time because of what went on this week in Congress. And then, seeing the reaction of my kids at school.
Now that was this week in Congress. What else? There was something else going on, not necessarily in Congress, but there was a live stream video conference from a Vladimir. What's the kid's name?
I can't remember his last name.
Anyway, asking for help from the United States, and this is all we had to do is just figure out,
Yeah, we spent more time on daylight savings time.
Uh,
And then for our part, Keith, I thought maybe we'll stay away from the huge conflicts in this world because we have difficult time solving those issues just in our 45-minute program that we have here, which is limited today.
grasps the issues.
Yeah.
What, limited?
We are limited
right.
today because of battery power. Folks,
We might run out of power.
Yeah, I forgot my battery, my cord today. So actually, we have plenty of battery left. But I wanted to talk about home equity lines of credits. Now, I know out there, I'm not, and I see who's on here today. We're not going to make this a real extended segment, or so don't log off now.
Yeah, please.
Home equity line of credit versus a home equity loan.
Okay.
All right. Now, some people may not be familiar with the difference there. A home,
What's the first? I don't. Yeah, the first thing it's got me baffled.
a home equity
No,
loan.
no. First,
The home equity line of credit.
no. Home.
Oh, home.
Joel needs stronger coffee.
We're generally not on the same page in this. Pretty much what we're dealing with right now. Okay, so do you know what a home equity loan is, Keith?
Yes, you take out a loan based on the equity that you have in your house.
Okay,
If
so let's
you
say
have
we take
have $100,000 house, you have $20,000 equity in it. You can take out, I don't know if you can take out all of that, but you can take
normally like 70 to 80%
okay.
of
Say
the equity.
if
that's
you want to
area.
take 10 grand out to pay off a car or whatever, it's usually a better deal than paying the car from the dealer. So you do that. Yes,
Yeah. So let's say we want to do a kitchen repair.
there you go.
All
Yes.
right. Big, that's a big one.
Yes.
Even for us coming up. I think.
Yes.
So we'll take out a $50,000 home equity loan.
Okay.
All right. When we take out that loan, as soon as we sign the paperwork, what do we need to start doing?
You're paying it back.
Start making payments, just like a mortgage,
Yep.
just like a car payment. You have to start making payments, right? So whether you have removed the cabinets or not, you're going to have to start making payments on that $50,000 loan, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So you're making like payments of $429 a month as soon as you sign the paper.
Right.
Okay. Now on the other side of that is the $50,000 line of credit. All right. Now, when do I need to start paying on the $50,000 line of credit?
I'm going to say not until you use it.
Not until you start using it. Very good. So that line of credit can sit there, for a couple months as you're figuring out your plans and so forth. And then once you use it, you need to start paying back. All right. Now,
is there a certain time you have to use that? I mean, suppose something gets caught up and it's a year later that you're fixing your kitchen.
Well, the one that I had just had a conversation about yesterday, they want me to use something within the first 3 months. Okay, which is fine. I'll take money out. The guy said, you know what, you can take the money out, and after 3 months, you can put it back.
Okay.
So they want me to use it just to use it.
Okay.
Right. So they want to make a few dollars up front. For me, that's fine. So I'll take, a few $1,000s out, and I'll pay $20 of credit or interest, whatever it needs to be.
Right.
And then if I don't need the money, I'll put it back in. Now, the other thing is this: suppose you use $45,000 to fix the kitchen, and now you're repaying. And suppose I don't know, somehow you get $10,000 into your checking account. Now you have $10,000 in your checking account. I can now put that into the line of credit, and that's automatically paid down my line of credit by $10,000. Now, let's go back over to, we'll hold on to that. Okay. So I just paid that down by 10 grand. Now, all of a sudden I need that $10,000 back. All right. If I paid off my home equity loan, can I get my money back out of the loan?
No.
Can you get your money? Like when you pay your mortgage, your house mortgage, can you call the bank and say, I need some of that money back?
Yeah.
They laugh at you and say, sorry,
yes.
we got your money you paid. No.
Right.
Line of credit. I need that $10,000 back. What do? I just get on the computer and I move it back over to my checking account. Flexibility. Interest does change on a line of credit. Correct. Now, if you owe let's say we have the balance is down to $10,000.
So let me just finish what Barbara's saying. That this is something you might not want to keep too long.
The equity?
Yeah. The line of credit, I mean, you're not sure about the.
You pay it back as fast as you can.
Right. Yeah,
as fast as you can. Now, here's my deal. If I have money in my checking account just sitting there, I never let it just sit there. I put it into the line of credit. If I have a balance on the line of credit.
Okay.
There is no point in having your money sitting in your checking account when it can be in the line of credit if you have a balance.
Okay.
When we redid the Mountain House, we used that line of credit quite a bit. And whenever I got a paycheck, any extra money I had left over in the month, I put it into the line of credit because that brings the balance down.
Right.
Yes, the interest is variable. It can go up and down, up and down. It's been about 3% for me for the last 20 some years. But if you keep that balance as low as possible to almost down to zero, even though I have like $1,000 in my checking account, but I have nothing in my line of credit,
right,
then I'm not paying any interest at all.
Right.
However, if I need money, I just go back to the line of credit, I pull it out and use it again.
Okay.
Now,
okay. So how long does that line of credit stay active? Is that forever?
Oh, okay. So here's the deal with most lines of credits now, as I discovered over the last week, it's a 10-year draw period, and then after that, you have 20 years to repay any balance.
Okay.
However, if you want to keep the line of credit open, you just kind of reapply and get another line of credit.
Okay.
And then you can kind of move all that into. So my point is, if you're going to do a project or you need something done, I encourage you to look into a line of credit
versus
the home equity line of the home equity loan.
Okay.
You can use the line of credit over and over and over and over again. The loan you're going to use one time, you get the whole chunk, and then you got to start paying back.
Need it, right.
You might not need it right away. Yeah. And then once you send it to the bank, you never get it back. You don't have that flexibility.
Right, yes.
They call it like a closed-end loan. Line of credit, it's an open-end loan. So obviously that would be, you know, whatever your conversation is with your bank. And I will tell you this, they're not all the same. I had to call around a few different banks to get the line of credit that I wanted, which means that from my bank.
Not even the bank that you've been doing business with.
They don't do them anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. They don't do it anymore. So I didn't need, well, I had to close it for other reasons, but so I had to close it, and then I had to look around. Ended up at Bank of America. They had exactly what I wanted. And what I wanted was the flexibility to sit at my computer and move money back and forth whenever I wanted to. Other banks, other institutions said, no, you still got to write a check. You got to write out a check to get your money. I'm like, you're kidding. You are kidding me. Yeah. In this day and age, I have to write a check to get my money out of the line of credit. Yeah. Well, Bank of America, they have it. You sit it, you know, just go on your webpage and say whenever you need to, you can move money back and forth. You can even do it on your phone if you wanted to. Okay. I was like, all right, that's what I need. Now I do have to set up a checking account there. And then you get a reduction in interest with that checking account combined with your line of credit.
Okay.
You know, they do automatic. Yeah. And then they gave me another discount too. See, I'm down to 3.15% right now.
Not bad
on the line of credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is lower than my mortgage.
I was just going to ask what your mortgage. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's
anyway. So that's it on that. Yeah. I'm not going to bore you anymore on that.
I think it's very interesting.
A lot of questions. I'd love to talk to anybody who has interest in that. But again, I would certainly encourage you to explore the line of credit versus the home equity loan.
Now, I know Dad always had something. Was it a line of credit or was it home equity?
He may have had a loan, gotten a loan. See, I don't know. There's a lot to, you know, you have to, like, I was talking to a colleague yesterday. And she said, well, a lot of people probably don't know about this. I was like,
yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I've been telling you for like the last 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. Good. Very good, Joel. Very,
okay. So Keith, guess what? Guess where Stephanie and I are going and the family are going this afternoon.
Well, I know.
After the show.
But I have no idea why. My dear niece, Sophia, has accepted, I think, her, what do you call that? Going to Penn State.
Yeah.
So you told me this morning that you're going to Princeton. Now,
we are
I know
taking a trip to Princeton.
There's a college up there that, what's her name from the Blue Lagoon went to, I think.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
What the heck is her name?
I don't know, but my family and I are going up to Princeton today.
Has nothing to do with college.
Well,
do we have a picture?
We do have a picture. We do have a picture. Why are we going to Princeton?
Oh my!
Because we're going to the Miele. Is that how you say it?
Well, yeah, and I don't think this is the same Miele that's Jokovic that was on, all those action adventure movie kind of things. Another one that went right over. What did we lose it again?
Yeah. Why is my screen share not coming up? Sorry, folks. Let's do that one more time.
I'm moving.
Screen share. Wait, I have a screen share for this. I want to share screen. Yes. Share. All right. And there we go. Did I not share the other part that I was talking about?
Well, I don't see it coming up, Joe.
I don't see a screen share either. Oh, maybe it's not coming up. You're on the live stream. Okay. Anyway, folks,
yes,
sorry. We'll not do a screen share.
We'll just have to trust Joel where he's going.
There's always an issue with what we're doing. Anyway, we're going to the Miele Experience Center. Miele makes one of the top graded vacuum cleaners right now. Folks, it's been a long time since Stephanie and I have had a real vacuum cleaner at home.
And can I break in just for a second?
Sure.
Because my dear friend Barbara, who is on at the moment, we had trying times about a vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
I said I'd be more than happy to vacuum for you when I'm, because it's a heavy job.
Sure. Yeah.
You have to get a Kenmore. She's been cursing me every day since she got the Kenmore. Oh, yeah. I like it. I go over vacuum it. I think it's a heavy duty, and I've been going to buy you one forever.
Right.
So what happened? And then anyway, we went to look at these Miele things, and they were very expensive. And the ones they had Bed Bath & Beyond, I guess, are just the generic ones. So, Barbara, if you have to go make a cup of tea now, you might not want to listen to this part.
Okay. So we've had a Kenmore. When Stephanie and I got married, we put the vacuum cleaner on our registry. So guess who bought the vacuum for us?
That's got to be mom. Yes.
Mom and dad.
Mom, yes.
Mom and dad bought us the vacuum cleaner, and it has lasted a very long time. And it's actually still does a commendable job, except for, the hose is kind of cracked, so you can hear the suction going through the hose and all that. The rug attachment has not worked in about 15 years because the hose connection, the electrical connection, like actually melted.
Wow.
And at one point it was like smoking while I was using it. I was like, whoa. So
and you still have a house.
Still have a house. Yep. And
So
and
draw
actually
equity on, yes.
even the further that is the cord that you plug into the wall. I've had to put a new part on that, and you can actually see the black and the white wire connected to it. Anyway, so we haven't had a rug attachment for like 20 years, because when I looked up buying the new hose for this Kenmore, it was it's going to be like $200, $220, somewhere in there. I was like, there's no way I'm paying that much money for a hose, So I did a little research. I looked at a couple YouTube videos, and there's one guy who owns a vacuum cleaner shop. He said, let's compare the Kenmore and the Miele. He said up until 2016, Kenmore was one of their favorite vacuum cleaners. But they're no longer made by Kenmore. They're not made by the same company. And ever since then, they're not.
It's about when Sears went out of business.
The quality has really gone down. He didn't recommend them at all.
Yeah.
So the one that we've had, which was built in like 2000, is still a great.
Yeah.
He said anything up to that point, the Kenmores are great. So the other one that he was working with was the Miele. And he went through everything. I was like, wow, he said this, this is probably your best choice. It's just expensive, but it's your best choice in this day. So got online, and I discovered that today we can take a ride up to the Experience Center. Now, Miele does everything. They have all sorts of appliances, this, that, and other.
Coffee
thing.
makers,
coffee makers and all that stuff. So I'm going to take up a carpet. Because we have two cats, we have hair. There's not a day that goes by that we should not be running the vacuum cleaner.
Can't blame it on me.
Well, all that hair is no.
Now it's on
There's not a day that goes by in our house where we should not be running the vacuum cleaner somewhere.
Right.
And especially our rugs, in particular the dining room rug, which to me has never actually been cleaned for the last 15 years.
One of those
it needs
things
something to beat it up to pull up the
Yes.
hair. And right now, when we vacuum it, we just have like the hardwood floor attachment that you have to kind of drag
And
across.
just-
it's like old school, and it doesn't do the job. So I thought, you know what? It's been a long time. We're going to pay a chunk of money for this, but I want a vacuum cleaner. That works.
I never knew there was a. Now, what is this company?
They're Germany.
Okay, I was going to say Spanish. It's okay.
So
German.
these machines, I believe, are all made in Germany.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
all right,
that's probably the other reason why it's kind of a higher price machine.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to buy special bags, their own bags.
Yeah.
Just like that Electrolux I was telling you that mom and dad had. I mean, that thing, the one, and I think Linda currently has it now, is about 30 years old, and that is still an awesome vacuum.
Yes. Yep.
Now I've also learned that Electrolux is nothing like it used to be.
That's now Monk said that years ago. I think they were sold. They were sold to Eureka. I think they might have been sold but they haven't been Electrolux in a long time.
So
and when I first got married, I got one of them.
You got one of them?
Yeah, and that was probably $800.
Yeah, I was going to say comparatively,
so
relatively, it's you probably paid more for that than what we'll pay for this one here.
I think so. Great.
Anyway, that's our trip to Princeton
And
this afternoon.
I know this is more boring to most people than the anything. The home equity. A lot of people can appreciate the home equity. Not a lot of people can appreciate quality vacuum, and vacuum accessories, as the Lendermans do. And
it's been handed down to us. It's kind of in our genes.
Take a second because, yes.
Okay, there you have it.
I'm better now. Yeah,
it's very, very personal. And I will say that we've had our share of upright vacuums that we bought for $80, $90, and they've been admirable. They've been okay, but we just needed something that.
Yes, I think when you have pets. When we had ours, it was the Ken. No, I guess it was the Electrolux. But anyway, it's something with those agitator, that gets all
Yeah.
the, and the new ones have HEPA filter and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. So,
Folks, if you're getting anything at all out of the show, now, even if you want to tell us to not send you the live link anymore, put like an angry face or something like that, but give us love the love button, smack the like button, give us a share, write down a comment, say, please go away, just like we got.
right. Mhm.
If you want us to get off the air, just,
I'm wondering, you had a yard sale in the not too distant past.
yes, we did. Yep.
And everything was, I know there's a store called Five Below. There's stuff at your place was One Below. Do you think maybe somebody got a swatch of rug, maybe for $1 that they might have thought they could have gotten for 50 cents? Did a little bit of research, finds out they're using that extra money to produce this really high quality show, and then now they're annoyed about it.
That could be.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to. I thought you say, didn't we advertise that on our show, which we did? Yeah, could be. So that's not only disgruntled about the show, but really it traces back to our yard sale that we had, overpriced items.
All the way back to the foundation of the United States free entrepreneurial spirit that we have. Why, ladies and gentlemen?
You scare me, Keith.
Remember Ed McMahon used to do that? They used to go back and forth, and he'd come out and go, "Oh!" Sorry about that, Joel. You okay? You awake?
I'm fine, man. For a split second there, folks, I thought he was serious.
It's going to happen. I have dementia moments in my life, and I think, I don't know if it's because I had COVID or because they say COVID lingering effects from it, and I'm paranoid that whenever I do something stupid or forget something. So if it happens, when it happens, I hope it happens on the show, because that's going to be the best show ever.
That'll go viral.
Yes.
All right, folks, let's get to our trivia.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
Man, I know. We don't have much battery power left. I got to get going. It's 9:38. We've taken up so much time in everybody's life so far. I don't know if the trivia is going to come up. I don't know what's wrong with my screen share.
It's really weird.
It's not working. It goes that far, and that's it. I mean, that's the same one we had before. All right.
Look, it's fruit. All that back there is
Yeah.
fruit. But this is live.
Yeah. Yeah. Shall we skip trivia today?
No. I mean,
okay.
can people really read them? We'll just do them really quick, and then we'll go right back and
Well,
answer.
let me ask you this, Keith. When I was showing the map and everything of the time, was that coming up?
I wasn't looking. I was looking over here.
That's a. Okay. All right. Let's do a little trivia.
I mean, you sure we're even on? We haven't gotten any comments lately.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay. All right. Well,
All right.
Let's just do them real quick. We'll read them through, and then we'll go right back.
Yeah. Well, this is probably not the time to do them real quickly. All right. So listen very closely. Number one, folks.
What private research university was founded in New Haven, Connecticut in 1701?
Yeah. So that's an easy one, right?
I'm not sure. The ancient city Machu Picchu was built by which pre-Columbian empire?
All right.
Okay.
That actually said the ancient citadel.
Okay. All right. Citadel. That's where I do my banking, actually. The Vernus space probes sent to gather information about Venus were developed by which country?
Okay. So that's number 3. And number
was that sent on the Vernus equinox?
Number 4.
What was the first country to use printed paper currency? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So let's go back and read these again. So number 1, folks. What private research university was founded in New Haven, Connecticut in 1701? Number 2, the ancient citadel of Machu Picchu was built by which pre-Columbian empire? Number 3, the Venera space probes sent to gather information about Venus were developed by which country? And number 4, what was the first country to use printed paper currency? Okay, so we'll come back.
I didn't say Venera, did I? Oh, whatever.
What did I say?
No, you
Venera.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right.
Don't they make bread? Okay.
Shall we do jokes?
Yeah, let's let that marinate for a bit. Yeah, let's do jokes. All right.
Yeah, jokes?
Yeah.
All right. You ready with your drum set over there?
Oh yeah.
The drum set still works because it's not electronic.
Right.
Joke number 1. We have 3 jokes today. Folks, please do not take a sip of your coffee or tea or your juice while I am reading.
You will lose the coffee.
Yep. And it'll spread
Maybe
all over your device.
Yeah.
All right. Number 1. Why are pirates such good singers?
Why?
They can hit the high seas. Number 2. What do a harmonica and a lawsuit have in common?
What?
Everyone is relieved when the case is closed. Number 3, folks, stick around here. What makes music in your hair?
What?
A headband.
Whoa! Very good. That was very good.
All right, so we get back to our trivia answers. I see Barbara's got a yell there. All right, any other ones going on? Let's see. Any other comments here? All right, so let's get over to our trivia responses, and we'll see how well everybody did. All right. Number 1, what private research university was founded in New Haven, Connecticut in 1701?
Private research. I thought it was just a regular college, but well, Barbara says Yale, so we're going to go.
See what we have here. Yale University, yes.
Private research.
1701. Yale. I mean,
Wow.
those, some of those Ivy Leagues been around for a very long time.
Now, what was their basketball team like back then? But did they go to the Big Five or?
I think they went 0-10 on the season.
Yes, I think so.
The ancient citadel of Machu Picchu, if we're saying that right, was built by which pre-Columbian empire?
I'm going to say Aztecs.
Oh, okay. All right. Inca.
Oh, Inca.
Okay. Inca, you're in good shape.
Isn't
there.
that the spider that went up the water spout?
Yeah, Itzy.
Shut up!
The Venera space probes, am I saying that right? Sent to gather information about Venus were deployed by which country? What are you saying there? That's kind of a new term for me. I'm going to say Russia.
Yeah.
Soviet Union, yeah.
Yep.
How current?
There isn't too many countries sending stuff up, so it's either us or Russia.
Yeah, right. What was the first country to use printed paper currency? China?
I'm going to say Egypt.
I was thinking that too. Let's see. China!
Oh,
Whoa, man.
Very good,
Wow.
Joe. Very good.
Okay. Man, anybody else get them? All right. That was a good guess on my part. Egypt had crossed my mind, but
I'm thinking of that papyrus, but then they had gold that they painted on everything, and
yeah,
I don't think they probably bartered for too much. It's make me this sandwich, or else I'm going to entomb you in stone.
I'm gonna wrap you up in toilet paper.
In gauze. Where did they go to get that? Was there CVS's over there back then?
I'm assuming there was a corner drugstore of some sort. I mean, there had to have been, right? Where else would they get it from?
Right.
So, all right, folks. I think that has brought our
to a screeching halt.
Not really screeching.
No, it was
a slow, drawn out
cadence.
Come to an idol.
Well, what are we doing next week? Let's do it again next week. I wanted to bring up this day in history.
No, you did have this day
in history. This this week in
We've gone to this week in history.
Yeah.
Soon to be this year.
Good old friend Charlie Pride. Now, talking about breaking color barriers. I'm really into country music, and the people down south are a little, even in 2022, are a little backwards. Remember Kiss an Angel and Good Morning? Charlie Pride had a string of hits back in the early 70s, and he passed away a year ago, December. Yeah, it's been over a year already.
Wow, yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was COVID related, but he wasn't young. But he had great voice. And he was born on March 18th. Is that yesterday? That was yesterday, right?
Yes, today's the 19th, yeah.
Born yesterday in 1934. So Charlie Pride, look up some. He had really good stuff, and his pictures are even better. There was a picture of him with Dolly Parton back in and just their outfits that they wear.
Right.
So anyway, a great talent. And,
all right. Well, there's our this week in history. Yeah, we've expanded that a little bit mainly because sometimes the particular day is a little difficult.
Right. And it's
That kinda-
yes, there's
kinda
something. Well,
broadens
last
what-
week when what's her name had passed, that was within the week.
Right.
Willie Nelson's sister.
Yeah.
So
All right, folks. Keith, we will not actually be doing a show next week. I
Okay.
am heading down to JMU next week to hang out with some old friends down there.
Hey.
Not old friends, some friends.
Okay.
I went to college with.
Now it's going to be
A little bit of a reunion sort of
the
thing.
group. The,
Yeah, I'm not. But what do you mean?
the band that the guy you.
No, to be our fraternity brothers
Okay.
and stuff. So
Did you know that guy or?
yeah, I knew him enough to say hi, and
Okay,
passing
okay,
and
all
stuff
right.
like that. I think he was a music industry major,
Okay.
which meant he spent a little bit more time with the techno part of music, and I was in the
Okay.
performance end.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we kind of crossed paths, but not
There was a guy Joel went to school with, and what was the name of the band? Had a hit back in the 90s.
everything.
Everything.
Yeah, and they're
if you-
playing again.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio not too long ago. It's like, wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
And it got quite a bit of airplay back in the
Yeah,
day. And,
yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, it is a great song. It's very got a cool groove
Yeah.
to
Yep.
it.
Mhm,
So-
yep.
All right, folks.
Okay.
we're
All
gonna
right.
get out of here.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, just because you got nothing better to do, even if you do have something better to do, doesn't give you a headache. Well, it might. And it's great that you're spending the morning with us. So
We appreciate it.
We appreciate you stop by. So remember, you deserve a thought of your own.
So be in touch to learn, laugh, and live. We'll see you on the next Smack and Jack Live. Have a great day,
week.
folks.
Yes.
See ya. Whoops. Wait a second. I have to do our outro. Sorry, I almost just.
Smack Jack, skin my face. Jack